Hey everyone, recently while surfing for guitars on reverb.com, I discovered a guitar that I own was listed for $68,000. Now I think for anybody out there, if you discovered that you have a guitar that may have this sort of value, you're either extremely excited about it or you're very suspicious as to whether this has any merit at all. Let's talk about what in the world is going on here, and then I'll show you this supposed $68,000 guitar. Also, if you're new to the channel and you would like tons of free exercises and phrasing ideas from my previous videos, be sure to click the link in the description below, and those are free for download. Now, just a super short backstory before we look at some of these prices. These are Signature Series guitars, and I've actually owned 3 of them. I bought one for $600 used, I bought another for $700 used, and the third one I bought brand new for $1,700. Now, even though I bought these guitars back in the early 2000s, I considered those prices to be very good deals. Now, even the signature artist himself sold many of his personal models from his website for around $5,000 a piece years ago, but that's substantially lower than the prices we're going to look at today. Now, the line of guitars I'm talking about is the discontinued line of John Petrucci Signature Series from Ibanez. Now, his models, as well as other models from Ibanez, have really shot up in price over the years. But recently, some of these models have been posted with very high asking prices. Quickly, for those of you who aren't super familiar with these models, let's look at the guitars that I'm talking about. The John Petrucci Signature line was called the Ibanez JPM, and it featured a Dan Lawrence design graphic on the top of all of the guitars, and they called it a Picasso design. All of these guitars came with DiMarzio pickups, an Air Norton in the neck, and a Steve Special in the bridge. They also had the low pro edge tremolos. They had a 3-way toggle switch to go between the pickup selections, and then your standard volume and tone knobs. The bodies were made of basswood, the necks were made of maple, and the fretboard was made of rosewood. The first model to come out in 1995 was the JPM 100 P1. Now, this model featured the primary colors Picasso design. And some of those models that came out also had some colored pickups, but that was a limited run, I think limited to Japan. This model is also the one probably most associated with John Petrucci's time at Ibanez because he used it in the Rock Discipline teaching video. He also used it in Dream Theater's first recorded concert that they released on VHS and maybe later on DVD. So it got a lot of airtime. The second model release was the P2, and that was in 1996. It was the same Picasso design, but this time it was in pastels. John used this one probably the second most of any of the production series. The third JPM release was the P3, and that was the black and white model. It wasn't really black and white, it was more of an off-white or an ivory. It was released to sort of match the LA Custom Shop 7-string model that John had, which was actually a true black and white one. The fourth JPM release was the P4, and that was in camo. This one was different in that it had a satin finish, but it was still the Picasso design. Also released in 1998 was the Hoshino 90th anniversary model, known as the JPM 90 HAM. Now, Hoshino is the parent company of Ibanez, and it was a celebration of that company. The Picasso design was done in a translucent stain. This guitar featured a flame maple top, as well as colored DiMarzio pickups. It also swapped the fretboard out from rosewood to ebony. So let's take a quick look at some of the recently listed JPMs on reverb.com and see what people are trying to sell these guitars for. And if you have any idea at all why they are listing them for these prices, let me know in the comments below. First, we have a P1 listed for $8,990 in Thailand. It looks to be in great condition, but wow, that is pricey. Next is a P4 listed for $43.52 in Italy. Now, this isn't cheap, but it's certainly more in line with recent sale prices of the JPM series. The next one is a P3 for $5,441 in Greece. Having bought a P3 myself for $700, this is steep, but I could see it selling perhaps. Here's another P1 in Thailand listed for $9,350. Again, it's a beautiful mint-looking JPM, but I bought a P1 back in the early 2000s for $600. So what in the world is going on? Here's one listed for $11,862 in Italy, and here's where it gets crazy. A P2 for anything over $5,000 better come with a free health plan. That is really getting pricey. How about a P1 in Italy for $14,533? I mean, is this a Picasso that was painted by Da Vinci? Now here's a 90th anniversary in the US for $12,000. Again, there's been a lot of inflation, but is anybody going to really pay this? Lastly, here's a 90th owned by John Petrucci himself. They have listed for $68,020. Now you could make the argument that this particular one is certainly worth more because John owned it and played it. But this isn't an LA custom shop model, it's a production model. Back when John and his wife called me to take over running his website, I used to run his website for many years, they were in the midst of selling these guitars. So I and a lot of other people online remember this time as he was switching over to Music Man. They sold many JPM production models for around $5,000 a piece. I understand selling artist-owned models for more, but why even ask for $68,000? Are they hoping for like a $30,000 offer? I just don't know and I don't understand. Anyways, if you want to see what a $68,000 guitar looks like, here it is. This is my Ibanez JPM 90 HAM. I bought it new for $1,700. As you can see, it's got the flame maple top with the translucent stain and the colored pickups, the ebony fretboard. You've got the binding on the fretboard as well, the matching headstock. It's a gorgeous guitar. And honestly, if the Sultan of Brunei or Elon Musk are watching and they want to add this to their collection, I'll let it go for 50 grand. 50 grand and I'll ship it the next day along with the certificate of authenticity and a picture of me and my dog. So what is going on? Why are so many listings for over $10,000 for these guitars? Because they're not selling for that, and that's not how the market works. The market works based on the sale price, not on what you listed it for. So I don't think the market can bear what these people are listing these prices at. If you have an idea, I would love to know why this guitar in particular, and then maybe other Ibanez models too, why are they being listed for over 10 grand, up to 20 grand, just exorbitant prices, because they're not selling for that. Just because you have one person that can sell it in a period of a couple of years for $15,000 or whatever, because you've got a wealthy person who snatches one up for their collection, doesn't mean that's the market price. So I'm just curious what you out there think. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you got one of these or another JPM. I always enjoy hearing about the other JPMs out there. And by the way, I believe this one, they produced around 420 to 450 pieces of this one. So it's rare, but it's not super rare. Is it really worth that much more when it's associated with an artist, when John didn't even sell his own models for that much? So let me know what you think, and let's figure out what the heck is going on in the world of Ibanez Signature Series, discontinued or otherwise. If you enjoyed today's content, please make sure to click that like button below. It really does help my channel. And subscribe if you will. A great free way that you can support my channel is if you're already buying beautiful guitars or amps or anything music related, go through my Sweetwater affiliate links down below. It won't cost you a cent extra, but it does help support my channel in a small way. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.